sit in and get with you, baby, tonight. I don't wanna love, I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna have to tell you all the things I know. I don't wanna stay, but I don't wanna go. I don't wanna be the lover in your arms. I don't wanna be one to keep you from home. I don't wanna be the crooked person in your heart. I don't wanna stop, but I don't wanna stop. Part-time lover, how we suffer now. And I don't wanna waste no more of your precious time. I don't wanna say that everything will be fine. I don't wanna feel your tears on my skin. I'm a coward, baby, don't let me in. Part-time lover, how we suffer now. So I don't wanna sit in and get with you, baby, tonight. I don't wanna love, I don't wanna fight. I don't wanna have to tell you all the things I know. I don't wanna stay, but I don't wanna go. Wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of war. There is no sickness, toil nor danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my mother. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going to see my brother. He said he'd meet me when I come.
Good day, this is Thumbs United. We are going to be doing the animation for Project Park, which is part of Flotations. I kind of aligned everything, and so the titles have been put in, and now all we do is we animate the photographs. So I'm just gonna paste the links in chat, and I'm gonna start up our music, and here we go. I'll let it play for a second. Okay, so here we go. So the first thing I do is put on auto keyframe. So that means whenever I make a change to the animation layer, which I'm going to do now, add the animation layer. I'm just going to do all of them in a row so we can just focus on animating. So it's going to take a second. Today was pretty good. I woke up a little later than I wanted to. That's why I didn't do the morning stream. I went outside, mowed the lawn. Then our cement has a lot of cracks in it now, which it didn't used to have. But this past winter it has a lot more. And so the weeds are growing in between, so I took the weed whacker. That now works reliably. Like, it starts within 3 to 4 pulls, which is fantastic. It's never worked better. And I did that for about an hour, and then I went with the lawnmower, and it has a vacuum attachment, and so I vacuumed first I blew all the debris and everything from weed whacking. Blew that onto the grass, and then with the lawnmower I came back and sucked it up. So all that took about 3 hours to do. And now I'm tired. It was really hot. I wanted to wake up at like 10 while it was cool and do it, but I was just really tired. My alarm went off and I said, heck no, I'm not. I did not get enough sleep. I went to bed around 4 in the morning. So here we go. We're beginning our animated process. I'm gonna make this a little smaller so I have more options. More area to view the setting. So we are going to start here. Well, you know what? Let's start. And it looks like it's. I'm going to make it smaller. So it looks like this isn't a good resolution, but I'm editing the placeholder. The file is actually 11 megapixels. So we have plenty of room where we can zoom. This is only an HD project, So it's only going to be, so HD is a little under 2 megapixels. So I can zoom in a lot and still have greater than a 1:1 pixel ratio. I could do a 5 times zoom, and it would still be, the image would not be at 100% resolution. If I was doing 4K, then I can't zoom in as much. And then this image is what? Okay, I thought I made a mistake. So now we're just going to zoom in on these flowers. So that's and I can't zoom in as much with this image because the image is only 1080p. And I'll get faster at this once I build up the muscle memory with the 1080p. Just going to zoom in a little bit. Like, I never want to go to a 2 times zoom. I am going to so I like to keep it at around 1.4, 1.5, maybe, depending on how far away the subject is. I'll go to 1.7 or 8. I'm going to have to test this in a render because I vaguely remember there were issues with zooming in with 3D footage, but I don't remember because the settings I used before were different. So I'm probably safe doing a 2 times zoom or a 3 times zoom, but I have to check. So again, this is only an HD image. It matters where the mouse is for the keyboard shortcuts. So that's why the settings kind of go awry. I really like to do zooming in more than zooming out. This one we're gonna pan. You just go across. And then this, it's not a linear animation. It is a exponential animation. So just what that means, I'll play it, is instead of going at a constant rate, what it does is it starts off slow and then it speeds up towards the center, and then it will eventually go slow again. So you're going to see it speeding up, and this is like the fastest it will go. Now it's going to slow down as it slowly gets to the last keyframe. So that's how I animate it. You can do linear, but you don't get that ease in or ease out. which a lot of in the movie world, in actual cinematography, you pay big bucks to be able to do kind of that exponential look. Yeah, going slow, then fast, and then slowing down. Because it's really hard to do. It's easy to keep a camera moving at a constant rate, but changing the speed and everything is very difficult. So So that was the fountain section. Oh, and the name of this project is Bonsais and Architecture. That's kind of the working title, but I'm thinking about keeping it. All the 3D projects, I kind of came up with like cutesy 2 subject names. I can read them to you right now. So it's Bonsais and Architecture. That's the first episode. Flowers and Forest. Greenhouse and Lily Pads. Indoor and Botanical. And Topiary and Trees. So that's kind of the 5 episode names. And I'm thinking I'm going to stick with them. So you have to adjust this. And I don't know how many of these I'm going to be able to animate tonight. Like I said, I was doing a lot of yard work. It was funny, by the time I got to the part of the yard work where I was carrying the leaf blower on my back, I was like, oh, my back really hurts. It's like, of course, because I was weed whacking for like an hour and 40 minutes. And I made a neck strap. Well, it's more like a shoulder strap. And it's, I don't know, it's a little bit too long. I have to shorten it. But I'm still like holding the weed whacker with most of the weight is on my hands and shoulders and not the shoulder strap. So I have to adjust that. But we got a lot to do. I have to speed this up. And yeah, so I'm carrying the leaf blower, and like every step I take, I not only hear my back crack, like pop, but I can feel it like between my hip and my back and my spine. It's like, oh no, I don't have time for this. Falling apart. But luckily it stopped cracking after a while. But it was like, I took maybe 20 steps, and each step crack, 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 crack. I was like, oh no, my back's gonna die. Which wouldn't surprise me because I've been getting a lot more back pain. And part of it is I'm like working a lot, lifting things and clipping and working outside all day. And so I have to, I don't know, I'm thinking that maybe I have to get like a massage therapist or something, but I can't do it because I hate being touched. Like, I can barely handle touches. Like, I'm trying to be less weird about it. But like, yeah, I just don't like being touched. But I've been reading all these articles about like how to get your muscles to relax and different like massage techniques like that you would do as a masseuse and or massage therapist. I'm not sure what is politically correct at this time for that. But well, like I said, it's more for the person giving the massage, so I know a lot of tricks. But I don't know what to do for myself. And I do have a back massager, and it's funny because it looks like those like a floor waxer / cleaner, the thing the janitor uses that spins on the ground and polishes the floor. But it's like handheld, and so you put that on your back and it like pounds your muscle. So after this, I'm gonna go get that and try it to kind of relieve my muscles. So that was it for the bonsais. And now we're going to architecture, where everything is a lie. The cake is a lie. And the reason why it's a lie is it's technically 4 different buildings at 4 different sections of the park. But I combined them to look like it's one large building. So this section, I'll tell you when it starts to get fake. I keep doing that. And this one's just gonna pan down. I usually do more in and out animations, but that one I think is necessary. And it's funny because this camera right now, this image is the JVC camera, and it has funny settings where like you can't ever control the full camera all at once. Like you can choose to do shutter speed and aperture, but then the camera has to decide the ISO, and then it's little things like that. You can have the aperture be auto, and then you can set the shutter speed and the gain, which is the ISO. And but there's always one thing it doesn't let you do when in manual mode, so it's really hard to take photos with it. I mean really hard, because what looks good on the screen can look terrible once you look at it on the computer. It's not because the screen is bad, it's just because you need to see the pixels bigger. So what looks like an okay image with low noise is actually an image with a lot of grainy pixels and things like that. and the other thing we have to do, that we're gonna do after this, is color grade. So I will probably, we're halfway done. We'll probably just do one episode tonight. So I'm gonna finish animating this, and then we're gonna do the color changes and everything. I don't do the color changes in Lightroom with these photographs because in Lightroom I would have to do the left camera view and then do the right camera view. They're separate images, and so there's a way where I could switch out the files, but Lightroom like pays attention to the file metadata, and so it knows and has a hissy fit when you swap images. So I just do it in Blender or in the video editor, and then once I submit it to render, Blender has no idea that I swapped the left camera eye or the right camera eye photographs, but it will apply the color changes the exact same way. So that's why I do it in the video editor and not in Lightroom. For the animations I do in 4K that I shoot with my 35mm camera, I do edit those in Lightroom just because Lightroom takes better advantage of RAW. I don't even think Blender can handle raw images. I'm gonna start our way at the bottom corner with this piano, and then we're gonna work our way up. And here we go. Looking at that ceiling, and there's gonna be no zoom change. And zoom in. You know what, we went from looking at the ceiling, so we're gonna start there, and then we're gonna trick the user. They're gonna think, oh no, I just saw that ceiling, and then we will go down to realize it's someplace completely different. So the 3D cameras, they don't shoot RAW, which is unfortunate. I would love to have a camera that shot RAW and 3D. So I don't have a lot of wiggle room for doing the color changes and everything. I have more room to change the colors for these photographs, the GoPro, because it records JPEGs a little bit better. Like with JPEG, you have your quality settings, and you can record with like a more less compressed version, but JPEG is still really compressed. Or you can shoot an image that's super compressed, and the JVC is like kind of medium compression. They're really small files. And then the GoPro has huge fat JPEGs. You want the huge and fat ones. This is not what I want. I want it more. I'm going to focus on the floor. And then I'm going to zoom it in a lot and start at the top. This one we're going to start again on the floor. And move our way up for the reveal. And then we have our ceiling here. I'm just going to zoom in. I'm making sure this is the GoPro image, because I can zoom in more because it's a higher megapixel. But going back to talking about the JVC camera, its AI mode, which is what they call the auto settings, is actually really good. And so as a photographer, I always shoot manual, but I've learned to trust the JVC camera, because 90% of the time the choices it makes ends up looking better in 3D than doing the manual mode. So I mean, it's super scary to trust it, but I've learned. I'm going to start in this corner. Yeah. So we're getting close to the end. When I said I'd tell you guys when I changed buildings. I changed a while ago. And go back and tell you guys when it changed. Well, I guess we're not almost dead. But I will save. I don't think I ever saved once. See, the GoPro recorded the image fine. It adjusts the white balance pretty well. But this is a JVC, and it was like having problems. In reality, it was actually really, this red, but it was so dark, like really dark. And I don't think it could really figure out what the color temperature was. Oh, we have the organ to do. And this one we're gonna zoom in to see all the detail of all the knobs and buttons. And there's the side view. And this is the second to last part of the process. And I'm including the color grade in this step. After we finish this episode, it will be ready for the music, and I might do narration for this. I usually don't for Project Park, but I might write a script, because I've noticed that the videos where I do narration and history and stories, they do better than the videos that are just music and photography. So And like, what's nice about this is I know the exact length of the episode. Like, the edit is done. You just have to animate and change the colors. I'm not going to zoom in too much because this is a grainy photo. So I don't want to reveal too much of that grain. But I can't decide if the top is better or... Well, you know what? I'm going to go this way. And then we can look at the wood, and that will make some nice depth. I wrote a couple of programs today. I was talking about gathering my footage for VR. And I have to apply the VR effect to the 180 degree photos, and that just makes the images like they're projected onto the inside of a sphere, which is how VR works. It's actually an image that's wrapped around a sphere. So when you look left, you look to the left of the sphere, which has like the left side of the image and back and forth. So you have to get your image to distort the correct way, and then it will actually look like it's flat, even though it's inside of the sphere. So it's one big optical illusion. But I wrote a program that takes my 180 degree photos and puts it in that sphere, so you can use it with VR, with head tracking. But it takes a long time to do it per photo. Each photo is 11 megapixels, and so it takes... I'm not doing it in like HD, I'm doing it at the native resolution. So it takes about 40 to a minute and 20 seconds per photo to do. And so all the photos I have in VR is 15,000. But that's just for... the VR is also in 3D, so it has to do the left eye and the right eye, the left camera and the right camera. And so it's actually 30,000 it would have to process, and I'm like, nope, don't have time for that. And so I keep doing this. You know, this image is too zoomed in. I'm just going to move it up. And so I wrote a program that takes all the photos I selected in Lightroom, which is about 700, and it's going to go through the entire collection of photographs in VR, and it's going to put only the selected ones in a folder. So I wrote this script to do that, and when I told it, you know, I want these 700 files, it writes it to a text file so that it can copy it later. And the text file ended up being 53 megabytes of just text. And I was like, oh my goodness, with all the file paths and everything. And so it would only copy about 185, exactly 185 before it would crash. I was like, what? So then I split up the project so it would go 120 at a time. But that was, you know, interesting. And then I noticed that when it had looked in the folder, it had written some of the files more than once. I was like, what? So I had to write another program that took all the files and made sure that the reference name to the file there was only one of them, And so that helped. That brought it down to like 20 megabytes. And then I split it up into the different sections. And so now I have my Linux box and it's searching through, fingers crossed. It's taking a while to find the first image, but what it's doing is it's looking at the whole library and loading the file paths into RAM. So it's taking a while, but I double checked it and it is working. So once it starts copying all the images, it will move a lot faster. But that's if it doesn't crash. So I'm hoping by the end of this stream, it will be finished. Talking so much, I don't know what I'm doing. Starting to make mistakes. Oh, but we're almost done. Now comes the fun part. Changing colors. My voice cracked, I don't know why. It's almost 1 in the morning. It's 12:40. And these are the pipes for the organ. The height of each pipe makes a different sound and different tones. And that's why they have all the switches. They control where the air goes. So it just blows air through them. And that's how the organ makes its sound. So it has huge pumps. They just blow air. So you can't, with the organ, you can't like play all the keys at once, or it just loses all the air pressure. And actually, when you see somebody playing the organ, you're not seeing, when they press the key, they're not pressing the key for the note that you're hearing. There is a delay for the organ where it has to shove the air through. And so like if you push the key on the keyboard for the organ, maybe 10 seconds later, the sound will come out of the organ. So the organist is actually playing like 10 seconds ahead of time, and then the sound starts to come out of the organ. So it's like major lag. And I went to the Walt Disney Music Center, and they have this beautiful organ where all the pipes are on the outside, and it's called the French fry design. And it's not really called French fry design, but all these pipes are like at different angles, and so it looks like a pile of French fries from like McDonald's or something. But it's really cool. And like when I went to specifically see an organ concert, and then we went, and the organist is like pulling out all the stops and everything, and so different parts of the concert hall would open up and close to let in more vents for the really low notes and everything. But it was really cool. Okay, so we're done. Halfway done. This next part should go pretty fast. And I think I will call it quits for this episode. I don't really have enough energy to do another episode. Tomorrow I'll do one creative stream, and then at night I'm doing the Mass Effect Let's Play, episode 7 of Mass Effect 2. So usually what I do is I'll do an adjustment layer for some of them we can. And ones that are similar color. So I'm gonna go through and we're just going to find similar colored Okay, I'm sorry. I heard something, but I don't know what it was. So I had to go check it out. Okay, so I'm getting similar colored images. Which there's only one here. I'm getting faster at the keyboard shortcuts. This is similar color. This saves me time instead of just going adjusting each clip. I can do one color adjustment. So these are all similar colors. And I'm just going to be changing for this section and for the fountains. I'm just going to be changing the mainly the brightness and contrast. But some of it I will. And this one, this is the color so unique. It has to be edited on its own. Okay, and that's it for the bonsais. And this one again is too unique. This is the GoPro, so that one has to be changed. I think the GoPro and the JVC camera for this section is wildly different. Okay, my dog just came down to chill out with us. So we're gonna move it here. And these are a lot of GoPro shots. So it saves me, because I kind of record images the same way. And I'm going to do the adjustment layer for these two images, but I reserve the right to change my mind about them. That's how these adjustment layers work, is it changes. What I'm going to do is going to change the color, and it changes the color for everything that's underneath it. So that's how that works. So those three images are really similar. There's a mosquito flying around here. And now lastly, we have the organ, which I think is going to be a lot of unique color adjustments. Okay, so I had to leave. My dog was like desperate. Take me out. I have to go to the restroom now. I was like, really? And then I took her out on the leash and I mean, she went to the restroom, but it was like, that was nothing. You couldn't have waited. But, so it was, this section of editing the organ was a little better. Okay, so now we do the fun part, where we edit the colors. Helps if I select. Where is it? Oh no. Okay, I found it. This is a newer version of Blender and they move some things around. So we are going to add pretty much only curves. I'm not going to change the white balance. And just make it higher contrast. And we do the same thing for here. Curves, not a lot of. So that just makes the dark things darker and the bright things brighter. See, it looks very similar. And it helps cut out of this haze. And this haze is just a wider dynamic range. So as you can see, this was going pretty fast. Took a little while to set up. But now this, so, and you can see instead of doing each one, individually, it moves a lot faster this way. Because so what I'm going to do for this one is, because it's indoor lighting, I'm going to edit that way. And so I made the dark things lighter and the bright things are a little bit brighter too, but I clipped it, and so past a certain point, the dark things past a certain point are just going to be exponentially darker. So it increases the contrast, but without adding a lot of darkness to the things in shadow. So that's going to be how I edit a lot of the bonsais. And you do that when the image is like a little bit too bright or hazy. See, it brings down the contrast and then makes the image brighter. And with this one, I'm also going to do the white balance. And I'm just going to select this. And there, see, it looks more like that. Not close enough, though. So let's try this. Nope. It's kind of. Yeah, see, that's closer. But the curves for all these images are not that great. And that's kind of the downside to doing this. This way is yet to find kind of the commonality. So, we got a little ways to go. You know what, I don't like that. So I'm going to go back to editing it kind of the other way. And I'm going to add a color balance. Well, actually the white balance. And I'm trying to get it to be more green. I guess this is like a green blue. You know what, I'm gonna change the color to this one too. And then it'll be easier to match. See, it's already closer. I worked hard to get it this way. See, it's not lining up quite right. There we go. Looks better. And then this one's going to need a little bit of work. And so we're going to do the white balance. Okay, we're about halfway through. I'll just save in case it crashes. And these ones are going to be easy. So this is actually another building on the other side of the other side of the gardens. And the white balance is like way off base. See, I can't do a lot of color changes because it's a more compressed JPEG. That's where I would like it. So we're gonna, I mean, that looks better. I kind of pushed the brightness too far. Still noisy, grainy, but it's better than it was before. And we're still gonna there we go. I can't remember if we did the organ. I don't think we did yet. I'm getting a little confused. And this one. We're going to do the white balance first. There we go. And then I'm going to add the curves. And with higher ISO, it's better to make everything darker. And I'm going to redo the white balance. There we go. So it looks similar. Here is our organ. I'm going to adjust the white balance first. And now the curves. I can make this one a little bit darker. Brighten the highlights more. And we're like close to being done. Whoa. Got an animation glitch here. Glitch. Let's see, one. I don't know why it's doing that. So we are going to move it down. Okay, I think I found out more. Other than that, the colors look good. This one's acting awry too. Okay, and I can't forget to do the colors. Coloring, and we're getting closer to being done. I'm just gonna go through and double check that there are no more animation bugs. And we're not gonna play it in real time. Oh, we can. Let's try that. Okay. So here we go. We're gonna make it some ungodly low resolution. Let's try 15% of HD and see how it does. Whopping 6 frames per second. I'm dropping frames like crazy. I'm not doing good. Well, I might have to end the stream. I guess my internet's not doing so well. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. But we finished. So, yeah, I'll see everyone tomorrow. I'll do an afternoon creative stream, and then in the evening, it's gonna be a Mass Effect Let's Play. So I want to thank everyone for coming out. I'll see you everyone tomorrow, twice. Bye-bye.